Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, so we have the Star, so Aquarius, that just popped out. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Queen of Swords. All right, we have what you need to look at. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. We have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Swords. 7, 8, 8. Future energies, we have Four of Pentacles, we have Three of Wands, and we have the Ace of Cups. All right, let's get some Lenormand. Look at what's going on here with what is troubling you, what you're dealing with. I almost feel like you moved away from someone, like you moved away from a situation, but I almost feel like this situation or this person is trying to contact you, like they're trying to get back at you, like a little bit at a time. They're not making a big move, but they're making like these little instances or these little moves that are making you think about them. We have the Storks. I feel like it's taking a look at what really went on. Or you might be thinking about someone from the past. And they're starting to creep in your mind even more. And I feel like you might be starting to romanticize about the relationship and what had happened. But I feel like you'll find more peace if you just focus on you. I just feel like there's some sort of energy that is trying to come back into your life that you left for a reason, but now you're not looking at it in the right way. And you're just focusing on the positive things and you're not really seeing the reason why you left. Sometimes we do that when we have relationships and then we break up and then we've had this time apart and then we miss them or we miss the habits or there's parts of that relationship that we miss. But then if they start to contact us and then we reconnect with them and then we're like, oh gosh, now I know why I left. Why did I do this? And I kind of just feel like that's what's going on here. Is there some sort of energy that's been wanting to come back in, but it's been a little bit at a time. It hasn't been anything big, but I feel like it's kind of those thoughts are slowly creeping in and they're starting to get bigger and bigger. And I just feel like you need to make sure that you look at it carefully as if you want to get yourself involved back in this situation, either with this person or maybe it's an old job, right, that you used to work at, but then you moved away from it, but they really need help, so they're trying to get you to come back, and you're like, well, you know, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that it's a Three of Swords energy that you had stepped away from that's slowly trying to creep its way back in. And I just feel like that's something that you have to be careful with and look at the truth of the situation and make sure that, you know, what's going on is really going on and that you remember exactly what had happened and why you left and to refresh your memory with that. I do feel that the energy is kind of pushing towards starting on your own and starting something different and that it's time to change and leave this energy, which I feel that you did, but then for some reason I feel like you're being drawn back in. And that's almost like the challenges that we have, is that when we have these situations that were negative for us and we're finally able to break away, sometimes we can break away clean and that's it, it's over with, but sometimes it will challenge us and say, are you really done with this situation? Are you really done with that relationship? Are you really done with what was going on in the past? Or are you not? And it's almost like we're being tested to see, okay, am I done or am I not done? And I feel like that's what you're being tested for. Are you going to go back or not? This energy that wants to come in, I feel, is energy where you need to focus on yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself and to find that peace within you and kind of move on your own and to focus on what's positive. But the choice is yours, right? As I always say, you need to do what you feel is right for you. But I just feel like looking at all sides of the situation, that if you put yourself back into this energy, how is that going to affect you? You know, if you don't put yourself in that energy, how is that going to affect you? I just feel like it's looking at all sides of the situation before you make your choice, or just taking that time to yourself to really decide and make your choice. I just feel like it's be careful what it is that you decide to do. All right, so let's get a Star Dragons. It's a challenge that is ahead of you, and what are you going to do? Just don't rush into it. Take your time. All right, we have understanding, looking at both sides. That's so funny because that's what we ended with here, is the Two of Swords, is looking at both sides, understanding the whole of the situation, understand exactly how it's going to affect you, how you're going to be affected. And if it goes wrong, what are you going to do? If it goes right, what are you going to do? I just feel like it's getting all the information before you make a decision. Definitely with these two cards right here, the choice is yours. Just take your time. Don't be overwhelmed with the situation. Don't start thinking and romanticizing about the situation. Look at the reality of the situation. Door to romance. That's what I was kind of feeling, as I feel that somebody is trying to work their way in a little bit at a time back into your life. And that's just something that you have to be aware of and be strong and confident in your answer and whatever it is you decide to do. But to also realize that if you make the choice, whatever choice you make, that you're responsible for that choice. Whatever happens, good or bad. We have chaos and conflict, and that's why, is because this energy is trying to come back in and you're having that chaos and conflict swirling around you. We have community. I feel like it's surrounding yourself, that if you're feeling that you're having a weak spot, if you're feeling that you're having a weak time, surround yourself with a community that is truly supportive for you, and listen to what the community has to say. Doesn't mean you have to follow it, but if the majority of the community is saying things one way, then that's what you have to take into consideration. But ultimately the choice is yours. But looking at both sides, looking at all sides, seeing getting all the information, that's what I said before, is that making an educated decision, getting as much information about this situation before you head back into it, so that you know that when you make your choice, you are confident with it. We have make your dreams real. I almost feel like, when I saw this card, I feel like, were you kind of heading towards something on your own, and were you starting to focus on something that was like just for you? And is that part of the reason why you moved away from this situation, and you started to go after your own dreams, and you started to go out on your own, and you started to become successful, or you were getting excited about that, and then this energy or this person comes back in? And is that going to mess up those dreams that you're heading towards, those things that you're trying to make happen? Is that going to interfere in that? And I feel like that's something that you have to take into account. That if you get back into the situation, is it going to affect where you're moving forward? I feel like you've moved away. I definitely feel like this is a test for you. But this is something that you have to be aware of. Again, considering all options, how it's going to affect you. Sometimes we get excited when we hear from that person in the past, and we're like, yes, yes, yes. But then when we have that time to ourselves, and we're like, oh, I don't know, right? Okay, so we had this crystal come out, very pink. We have cobalt calcite, love, emotional healing, which I feel that you are in the process of the emotional healing. And I feel like you've been moving away from that, but I almost feel like you're being tested to be pulled back into it, and that's what you need to be aware of. We have compassion. Love is all you need, especially with cobalt calcite, a stone of unconditional love and forgiveness. This crystal promotes emotional healing above all else. It fosters compassion for yourself, exuding the confidence that your self-worth can only be cultivated from within. Self-love rituals are encouraged with this stone, especially those that nourish and honor your body as a temple. It amplifies the vibration of love, nurturing your inner child and giving you endless energetic hugs. You are always supported, Cancer Venus, and I feel like that has to do is that self-love, is looking out for yourself. Is it in your best interest to go back into this energy, or is it in your best interest to stay on the path that you're going because you're feeling so good about it and keep pushing forward and leave this energy behind for good? Or do you need some closure? What's in the best interest for you? Do you need to have some closure with something? So there's a lot there for you to think about and to consider before you make your decision. All right, let's get some charms. We got a bunch there. We have the ladybug, which I love. She's so cute, which I feel represents luck. Oh, look at that. And we have the clover. Luck is on your side without a doubt. Okay, we have faith, having that faith in yourself that you're going to make the choice and the decision that is best for you. We have the cross, again, faith. That's pretty cool. So we have those two, which represent the same, and then these two, and then we have enough. Have you had enough of this situation, right? Have you had enough? What does that represent to you when you saw that word? We have forever, forever. Could the path that you take could change your life forever. Protected, that one's been coming out a lot. We have the heart, which I feel is loving yourself. We have the elephant, which is remembering exactly what went on in the past, remembering why you moved away from that energy. And then we have the cat, which I feel represents that independence that you have within yourself. And I feel like you've been getting there. I feel like you've been going there. I feel like you've been embracing that and you've been enjoying it. Oh, we can't forget the little wine glass, right? To celebrate you. To celebrate you and your choice and your decision, and that you're looking at this from all sides and you're not just jumping into something. That you're educating yourself before you make a decision. Love that. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.